A lot of people upset with Jerry Jeudy. Have you given up on Jerry Jeudy? 216-474-0092. Tone, go.
So I don't know how they can give up on him. Because
I think there's a difference, though, in them giving up on him and fans giving up on Jerry Jeudy.
I do think it would, and I don't know why. Why didn't you say that on the air? But we were talking off the air. Again, another easy opportunity to bench somebody. That's a loafing situation.
I don't think he was loafing.
It's definitely a lack of awareness, and you got to have awareness as a wide receiver.
Okay, but I don't know what good it does to bench your number one wide receiver over lack of awareness. It was silly.
So you just don't agree with benching guys ever, then?
Well, it depends on the situation. Give me the situation. You can't say ever. I mean, there's a million different reasons to bench or not bench a guy. That's a pretty loose definition, don't you think? That's kind of the extreme. That's like when I'm arguing with my wife and she goes, well, I guess I'm just the worst person in the world now, aren't I?
But benching somebody doesn't mean you're terminating their contract. It just means, hey, come over to the sidelines. You did something stupid. Let's talk about it. Let's get better. Let's also send a message to everybody else. I don't know. Our coaches.
I kind of felt like he got benched, though, with his 3 targets in the game.
I mean, there's also the thing of hey, you could bench a guy, but you're also inviting a lot of conversation to your football team the next week. You may not care.
Well, I mean, isn't that
but
conversation?
I think you're inviting a lot to your football team.
You don't think that's been there all year with Jeudy anyway?
Speaking of conversation, the master conversationalist, our good buddy Jeff Shadell, because you can always leave it to him to ask the questions that the fans actually want to ask. Jeff asked Kevin about Jerry Jeudy. Hit it.
Hey, Kevin, I'm going to ask you about Jerry Jeudy. Were you pleased with his effort yesterday? It looked to me like he really slowed down before he fumbled that ball.
I think he was setting the player in front of him up to make a move there, Jeff. He will be better. That's really a play that we expect him to make. That's a huge play for our football team. We're about to get 7 points, if not 3, on that drive, and that's a big play for us. And Jerry knows this, and we remind him and remind our players. It's always the guy that you can't see that they're coming. So I don't think it was a loaf. It was a lack of ball security technique.
And then just to follow that, though, when we talked to him on Wednesday, he was very short with his answers. I know that's not a big part for you, but his interview lasted less than 2 minutes, and his words 3 or 4 word answers. So is anything bothering him?
No, I think Jerry's got the right attitude. He wants to win. Obviously, when you're not winning, that certainly can affect your mood, if you can imagine, but he's focused on winning.
I learned it from watching you.
I'm going to get back. I want to get back to the nature, though. First off, does that get added to the master clip?
Yeah.
Owen.
Come on. That's got to be in there.
Does that get added to the master?
The Chanel catalog.
We'll take it into consideration.
We've got a nice best of come holiday season here. We gotta get this out there. This is pretty good.
I saw him at the Menor game.
It's got all of this.
Jeff, you good?
Really, just one little thing. It's really that close, because from the outside, it does not look that way.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, it could be like that. It could be hard to see.
All right, Jeff, we'll come back to you.
Giving our best and try to go win the series.
I mean, you tried that last year. I mean, you personally, what did you learn as a head coach?
I don't know. Thank you.
All right, Jeff, we'll try again.
What can you guys...
You watch film? You watch the film?
I watched the game.
Did you watch the film or you watched the game?
I did not watch the film. So, did they not have you guys covered tight?
Watch the film and come back and ask me.
All right, Jeff.
Did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him? Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now.
We'll try again.
Yeah, sorry about that. My cat walked across my keyboard. Are you on vacation? Where are you going on vacation?
Yeah, location undisclosed, Jeff, so you don't bother me.
Hey, the reason we play it is because Jeff asked the question that a Brian in Broadview Heights wants to know. That's why we love Jeff. That probably is going to make the master clip. So this is what I think, but Jeff is hitting on it, and this is why he asked the questions that people want to know. We made a big deal of Jerry Jeudy being terse at best with the media last Wednesday. And there were some people going, well, what if he's going through something? I said, I asked that question. If he's going through something, then don't put him out there on the podium. You can always say, he'll talk tomorrow or talk Friday. He's not ready to talk today.
Very easily,
whatever.
They could easily dispel behind the scenes. Like they could go to media and say, "Hey, just so you know."
They absolutely could. Yes,
it'd be an easy thing to do.
But they didn't. So I'm going to go on what I know, and what I know is a guy who had a 1 minute and 30-second press conference, and I thought added a little bit of dissension to a big week that was coming up for Shedeur Sanders playing.
Well, it sucks because we didn't get to see what Shedeur would have done on that drive.
But now you have the true thought of what a lot of fans thought, because there were some people trying, you guys are making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, are we, considering everybody was upset after you guys called him being a lazy person out there on the field? Because I didn't think it was lazy. I think that this is a guy who was trying to set, as Kevin said, set someone up for a move. And I don't think it was the smartest play I've ever seen. He wasn't paying attention to who was behind him.
He forgot that there are 9 other guys on the field, and the goal is to get the football.
Well, you get excited sometimes. I mean, if I got the football...
And it just was a very casual...
he gets the ball as much as an offensive lineman does anymore. If an offensive lineman took off with it, I think he'd get excited too and probably forget who's around him.
Yeah, maybe loafing's probably not the best term. He clearly is trying to set up a move. Like, I agree with Stefanski, but that's something you can do in high school. And at what stage does Jerry Jeudy think he is at the level in the NFL to be able to toy with defenders the likes of that? Like,
he does.
It's him coming to a stop almost in the middle of the field with everybody behind him chasing him.
Who's the number one quarterback?
It just doesn't seem very smart.
Who's the number one wide receiver on the team?
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy.
Who's the highest paid wide receiver?
I might have to say Harold Fannin at
Who's
this point.
Who's the highest paid wide receiver on the team?
He is.
So why wouldn't he think that he can shake a guy? Why wouldn't he think that he can do that?
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of instances of him doing that this year.
The NFL has told him he's the type of guy who can shake a guy. Oof. And I haven't seen it this year. But
his coaches need to do some coaching and tell him who he's not.
Guys run out of confidence after we run out of confidence. So he definitely thinks he can still shake a guy. It's been a bad year. I'm not defending his year. I can a little bit because the quarterback play hasn't been good.
Yeah. But it's not all on him, but he does lead the NFL in drops for the second consecutive year.
How old is he? Is he battling old age? Is
26.
Yeah, so he's young, so he's probably sitting there going, this is ridiculous. I got a cavalcade of goofballs thrown to me right now. I'm a much better wide receiver than you people are making me out to be. And then he gets the ball, I'm going to show you, and he did something silly. I can't just bench everybody. Am I only hurting my team? Who am I going to replace him with? Is it said Tillman becomes number one? Okay.
I don't know, but he's 67th in the NFL in receiving yards this year. So
I didn't say he's having a good season, now did I?
If he's at the level that he thinks he's going to go video game in the open field in a game. By the way, totally letting down Shedeur.
He did.
If anything, Shedeur fans should be all over Jerry Jeudy today. How do they feel about that?
I'm sure they are. Where is Cedric Tillman on that all-time list? Does the list go down that far?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is Jamari Thrash on that list? No offense to him.
I don't think they've had that many names.
This is what I'm trying to point out here.
Oh, Njoku's 100th.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to point out here. Better watch what you say. You're going to see him later today, but we're not going to talk about that right now. You're only hurting yourself. He knows he messed up. Yeah. Everybody knows he messed up. Oh, what, I'm going to bench him now for the rest of the game?
Well, so you just
hurt myself?
You just don't think negative reinforcement works in the NFL during a game?
Not to cut off my own nose, no. No, I'm trying to win a football game. We'll talk about this later.
So the highest paid players can never get benched?
No, that's not true. If he would have got the ball and walked off the field, then I might have been real pissed off and said, you can stay off the side of the field. He was trying to make a move. It was an honest mistake, was it not? I know everybody's mad at him.
But it's a stupid
and they don't
play.
Like him right
now. It is a stupid play.
It's not smart.
We can agree that. It
wasn't that he was giving slack-ass effort on the play. That's what I think the difference is.
But he was accused of that on other routes in that game.
He was.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the Browns this week, because I know these players know they screw up, but at times, especially on losing teams that aren't going to the playoffs, and jobs are on the line, that's how this league works. It's a professional entity. People are getting paid a lot of money to make the playoffs every year, and he's one of the highest paid.
Okay.
So do you think they got on him big time this week?
I think he got on himself big time this week.
Do the coaches never do that here? Do we have a coaching staff that just kind of, I know you'll own up to it. My bad. Okay, let's move on. Because how's that working for the Cleveland Browns the last few years? Answer me that.
No, not very good.
How is this? Hey, our players know they screwed up.
Well,
I would hope that it gets fiery behind the scenes, like it should in a football team.
There was that one situation, and you know what? I'm not going to say that situation because it wasn't even when Kevin was head coach, so I'm not even going to say it. Even though there's a certain wide receiver that are, you know what? No, I'm not going to say it. It's holiday season. I ain't going to do it yet. No. Yeah, I didn't think that Jerry Jeudy should have really spoken to the media last week if he was going to, have a minute 30 press conference. I just think it made him look bad and it brought more attention to a not great situation.
It was a minute 10. You're giving him 20 extra.
No. He cut out the silence. On the original cut, it was actually like a minute 45.
You cannot include the silence as being in the press
yes, you
conference.
can.
No.
Yes, you can. You have to explore the space.
Then why didn't we leave it?
Because it would have set off the dead air bells. That's why we didn't
let it count, Ken.
Okay, all right. So he was out there for a minute 10. He was out there for a minute 45, but only spoke for a minute 10 with the questions. Basically, he spoke for about 15 seconds. That said, I know everybody's mad at him, and we're ready to take the gloves off on him. If he would have, I saw guys in Browns uniforms walk around out there. I've seen guys that you guys all love refuse to go back into a football game, refuse to go into a football game. I'm not going to say who. Owen knows, and you know over there. And I ain't going to say his name. Ain't going to get that out of me. But you guys all love him, and he flatly refused to play for you at one point. Okay?
Let the record show it's not Baker Mayfield.
No. He flatly, and he claims to love you guys. Anyway, I'm not going to hold it against Jerry. Well, I got to hold it against Jerry Jeudy because it was a silly play, and I wish you'd have held on to the ball. I wish my voice worked right now so I'd be able to make this point better. But if he's walking around slack-assing, if he's refusing to go into the game and help out his teammates, then I'll say sit your ass on the bench. You can't just, and I'm still kind of miffed at you, where it's like, well, I guess there's just no situation. No, there's no reason to just fly off the handle and say there's no situation to bench a pro player. But I'm not just going to bench him despite my own football team.
Well, I guess part of it is, too, I don't know the conversations they've been having with Jerry all season. I'm sure he's been frustrated.
Well, clearly they're pretty good conversations, really productive considering how great he was in the media last week.
The thing is, that stuff we're not privy to, so I have no idea if he's doing everything they're asking of him and the drops are just, hey, receivers are going to drop passes. Granted, some drop more than others, and he's led the league over the last 2 years in drops, but you're not going to bench a guy for drops. It kind of comes with the territory of having a player like that where they think he can make up for it in other areas. And he just hasn't been able to this year. Again, not all on him. He hasn't had quarterback play that I'm sure there are a lot of plays. He's wide open. And if he was playing with Joe Burrow,
there was a player
Jerry Jeudy would have twice the yards this year.
There was a player I played later in that game, I believe. He was wide open on wheel route. He didn't see. Oh, no, I think he didn't miss him. He just threw to somebody else. It was like a check down. Apparently, though, you're not supposed to do checkdowns or only do checkdowns when Connor Orr decides that you're allowed to do checkdowns. I'm not sure. But either way.
So I'm not, obviously, that's a big part of it. I always wonder, Ken, if you were a head coach, when do you use the tool of a benching? Because we talked about it when they lost the game with the offsides penalty, which they probably would have lost anyway. But you never know.
It's a great question.
When do you cut a guy? When do you bench a guy? You can only use those tools so much. You can't be benching guys. Like the Jets. Who's the Jets head coach?
The Jets head coach is Aaron Glenn.
And Aaron Glenn benched the brother of Quinnen Williams.
It's Quincy Williams, who's his brother.
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually sparked him a little bit. So it actually worked out.
Quincy Williams ain't no dummy. Quincy Williams was right. I mean, if you want to talk about standing up the media, he says, no, I haven't been good this year. Mm-hmm. And it's a results business, and I've not given the results. Now, you had an injury there, and he's come back, and immediately he got the chance to play better, and he did play better, so it cleared the cobwebs there. I understand what you're saying there. There's a time, if a guy's playing really poorly, and he's played poorly, I get that. I mean, he's had drops this year. He's had situations, I think, that it's been flighty. It's been a bad year with Jerry Jeudy. But I also look at it and go, is it helping out my quarterback? Is it helping out my offense to take him off the field? It doesn't. Their situation is it helps them. They believe it helps their defense at that time to take him off the field. Now, they've got better play out of Quincy Williams because of that. So definitely that point. That's a hell of a point to use against me. You're right about that. But I still don't think it helps my football team to do that because I don't think he's half-assing it. I think there's a lack in concentration. I think there might be a pressing of some level. I think he's dropped a couple of balls here this year where he's been running before he's caught the ball because I think he's trying to get everything he can. And I look at that and I take that all in. But I go back to the situation. What are the circumstances I know I might bench a guy? Well, if you give up on your team on the field, if you give up on your team in the locker room, if you create a distraction or a problem. Well, he started to create a bit of a distraction there. I don't think, though, on the field he created a problem. And then, again, if he would have had that fumble and then just stalked off and didn't want to talk to anybody, maybe I'd have a problem with it. Sat right down with Shedeur Sanders. So it wasn't as if he said, bleep all you, and decided to be a diva about it. I mean, he's a wide receiver. There's diva in there. But it wasn't like he said, bleep all you, and walked off. I mean, he sat down with his quarterback and tried to get this thing figured out. And so, no, I'm not going to bench a guy over that. And if it were a laziness issue or a quitting on your teammates issue, I'd bench him. But I think it was an honest mistake, and I don't know what I get. Like when really good running backs fumble the ball. Guys fumble the ball every now and then. It happens.
Yeah, McCaffrey fumbled it last night. I was going to ask you about that too because
am I punishing myself if I take him off the field?
Yeah,
I think I am.
But there are times, like I think Ramondre Stevenson fumbled a few times earlier this year and got benched. So I do think coaches can say, hey, we've worked on something all year. And on that one, that was not a fluke. That was you making a mistake. I'm just saying in given situations, it all is going to be case by case.
But you're also...
I'm just saying, do the Browns players ever get benched? Does it ever happen? They've been terrible for 2 straight years, and I don't see anybody getting benched.
No, we've bitched about a lot of accountability this year. And I'm not saying the accountability as a whole, I would agree with you on, but I just don't think that Jerry is an example of the lack of accountability. I'm sure you disagree, and I'm sure plenty of people do. But if I saw effort as an issue, then that's a lack of accountability. If I saw team meetings, things of that nature, being off the field, talking to your teammates, being with your teammates, learning the game, if I thought that was an issue, then that's a lack of accountability. There's been plenty of lacks of accountability over the last 6 years with Kevin Stefanski as head coach, with Andrew Berry as general manager. That's 100% true. But I just didn't think that this one is. I mean, when you bring up Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, they still have Trevion Henderson with them as well. So, okay, you're not going to get the bulk of the carries, but you still got to get some carries. Right now, it's Jerry Jeudy or really nobody. Do you have a lot of faith in Cedric Tillman? Maybe it's grown
He's
a little
flashed a little bit lately, but yeah.
But there's nothing there that tells me this guy's ready to replace him. It's not a net plus. He is not a net plus with this team. And I think maybe by Sunday I could be saying a totally different tune. It's been a very weird roller coaster this year with Jerry Jeudy. Mostly down, including on Sunday. Tyler and Hudson, you're next up on the Fan. Hello, Tyler.
Hey, gentlemen, what's going on? Good morning.
No, nothing much, Tyler. Go right on ahead, friend.
No, Ken, I just wanted to say, man, I totally agree with you. I think, unfortunately, Jerry Jeudy is going to have more success against the team's number one corner than any other receiver on this team. I mean, you absolutely need to breathe some new life in there, but, Matt, I agree. I don't think that I think that it's like a mental thing versus like a physical thing of effort, for Jerry Jeudy out there. So, unfortunately, he is your best option out there, but no, I think that benching him would just be, sensitive. I think that we all got to get over our feelings. And next week, hopefully he can bounce.
Tyler, I thank you very much. And by the way, congratulations on all your success. I forgot you were in Hudson. But I also agree with you on that. And also, it would be uneven in terms of what's punishable, what's not. If, again, he were giving me, and by the way, Nathan brought up a route, and that's something we're paying attention to. If he were to give me a bunch of slack-ass efforts on routes, if he were to be pouting out there on the field and not helping to try to contribute to a victory, then you go, okay, maybe Jamari Thrash is just going to give me effort, and I'm just going to go with an effort guy. At least he's out there going to give me his best, because this guy isn't going to give me his best, and if he's going to pout and bitch and moan, then that's going to be the end of it. I mean, you could always do that. I mean, that's happened. That's happened with guys. By the way, what's going on with Keon Coleman over there in Buffalo? It's like 2 games or 3 games now. I don't know what's happening there.
They loved him after the draft.
Yeah,
I remember
did.
that.
And then I don't know what's going on.
Great interview. Great personality. Him and Josh Allen are going to be a Hall of Fame duo.
Saying he's falling asleep in meetings and giving him a chance. I don't know what's going on there. Evan and Lyndhurst, you're next up on the Fan.
Yes. I just want to defend Jerry Jeudy a little bit. I know the fumble was awful, but like a few quarter later, that Dylan Sampson 20-yard run, Jerry Jeudy's 20 yards down the field, blocking the corner, allowing Dylan Sampson to get down there. So, I mean, he's still giving effort. He's still good at blocking. I know receiving, you got to catch the ball. We got to clean that up because him and Tillman have got to finish their routes. Shadur's going to throw him the ball, and we need to get those completions if we want to beat San Francisco. I'll hang up and listen.
No, I think you're right about that, Evan. Thank you very much for the call. I think that now is the time, and I don't want to just not pay attention to everything guys are doing. Now is the time to really put a microscope on everybody. We are not out of the woods with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski yet. I think it's about 50-50 right now with these guys on whether or not they're coming back. So that's going to make people probably root against the Browns in a way because they don't want these guys around. And I know they get very annoyed with us for saying we like them and all that other stuff, and especially the call from Chris in Texas yesterday. Go back on the Fan and hear that 92.3 The Fan on the free Odyssey app. If we're going to evaluate, the microscope is on everybody. Now is not the time to start walking around and giving a slack effort. So these are the things you pay attention to. And if Jerry could have made up for it by that, and Jerry did make up for it by that performance, then that's part of the things that we don't necessarily pay attention to because we always watch a guy with the ball. If you're able to make up with that, that's something that we see on film, that they see on film, I should say, and that they'll be excited about and go, hey, there's a guy who's having a tough day at the office and still contributing to his football team in a victory. That is something you highlight in terms of leadership.